Hi, and welcome to Live Long, Live Well. I'm your host, Mark Maxwell. Well, if you're like me, you played a lot of baseball as a kid, and then you played some softball, and then along the way, maybe you just gave it up. But now may be the time to get back into the game. There's lots of leagues and teams for people over 50, and that's why we're here today. We're going to take a look at senior softball through the eyes of the team that I play for, the Rochester OPC Blue Jays. We're going to take a look at what it takes to get back in the game. We're going to take a look at the unique rules to senior softball, and we're also going to see the Blue Jays in action. We're going to talk to and meet some of my teammates. I hope you enjoy the show. Softball can be a strenuous and physically demanding sport. Make sure you have a current physical and are cleared by your doctor before you play. Softball requires preseason training and in-season warm-ups and preparation. Hitting, running, and throwing all involve explosive movements that can cause injuries to ligaments, tendons, muscles, and joints. Starting out, throw easily and gradually build up arm strength and velocity. Remember to do rotator cuff exercises and strengthen the shoulder stabilizers. Start easy with the bat, too, and gradually build up bat speed and work to improve your timing. Leg injuries are common, so try to work on some 40-yard runs, starting at low to moderate intensity to help prevent injuries while base running. Take it easy coming out of the batter's box and running to first base, so you don't experience hamstring pulls in your first at-bat. During the season, it is imperative to warm up thoroughly before each game. We arrive at least 45 minutes early to loosen up, and we walk or do some light jogging. We also participate in throwing, fielding, and hitting drills. During the season, it is important to maintain regular core abdominal strength, because that is really imperative to help with hitting and fielding. Now let's take a look at some rules that are unique to senior softball. The home plate is actually a mat that is 2 feet by 3 feet. If the pitch ball hits the mat and is between 6 feet and 12 feet in height, it's called a strike. There are also 2 first bases. One is on the left for the fielder and one is on the right for the runner. This is meant to prevent collisions. Runners going from third base to home must not touch the mat at home plate, but must cross a line that is equivalent in distance but away from home plate. This helps prevent collisions at home plate. The umpire must judge whether or not the runner has passed the line before the ball comes to the catcher, who must stand on home plate. There is also a line somewhat down the third base line between third and home. This is called the commit line. If you cross it, you must go home. You cannot go back to third, or you will be automatically out. Sliding is allowed at first, second, and third, but not necessary at home because you must cross a line. You are also allowed 11 fielders, including the pitcher and catcher. So the combination of the 2 foot by 3 foot mat and the fact you're hitting at 10 people in the field, in addition to the catcher, it can be quite challenging. Well, hi, we're here with Dave Fabian, manager of the Blue Jays. And Dave, how'd you get back into senior softball?
Well, when I retired, a friend of mine who was a senior, played for many years, talked me into coming and watching a game, and next thing I knew, I was on a team.
Tell us a little bit about your athletic history. Did you play ball quite a bit when you were a kid?
I do most all sports poorly, and I did play some softball up until my 30s, but I hadn't played in 20 years.
Well, now how long have you been a manager? Now, I'm sure when you started out you didn't manage, but first of all, how'd you get talked into managing?
I think it was called a short straw theory. I got the short straw, and I've been doing this for 3 years now. And this is my retirement year.
Well, that's what you said last year and the year before, too. But how do you like managing the Blue Jays?
It's fun. I got a wonderful group of guys. I think that's really important. They've been very helpful in making sure that we, get here on time, do the things we need to do. Real good group of guys, and makes my job a lot easier.
What would you say to guys who have played in the past and they're on the fence a little bit, maybe considering coming back? What would you say to them to encourage them to get back into baseball?
I had some health issues, and I really wasn't going to get in the ball, too. A friend of mine talked me into it, and it's one of the best things that's happened to me. I think activity equals health, and I think that once you get involved in it, you find out that you can bring back your skills. You get out here with a group of guys, you get running, doing a lot of things you thought you couldn't do. The game and the rules are tailored to seniors, so you don't really get a lot of injuries, and I really encourage people to do this. It's really a great game, and you meet a lot of good people.
Well, I'm here with Jim Feldkamp, and Jim, tell us a little bit about your athletic history.
Well, sports have been a very important part of my life. I played in high school, college, and recreationally, and my career was an athletic administrator, so it's very important to me.
Now, why'd you get back into senior softball?
After all my surgeries to make me healthy once again, it was time just to get out here and have some fun with the guys.
Now, what would you say to guys maybe sitting on have been played for a while and would like to get back into the game?
Well, first of all, don't just jump in. Get a good physical, get things checked out, prepare your body a little bit, and relax. You can't do what you used to do.
Well, we're here today with Doug Helmick, better known as Doogie. And Doogie, tell us a little bit about your athletic history, the kinds of things you did as a kid.
As a kid, I was always active. I lived maybe a quarter of a mile away from the field, and I played a lot of baseball, softball, basketball. I tried football, and I've always been active, and that's the thing that I really enjoyed.
Now, what got you back into senior softball?
Well, I played softball most of my life. I took time out when I had some kids, but then when they grew up, then I got back into softball. And then when I moved to Troy about 10 years ago, I needed something else to do, something for activity, and I took up volleyball and also softball.
Well, that's great. Doogie, I got to mention, I've watched you play, and I know you've had some difficulty with that right shoulder of yours, and you make all your fielding throws underhanded. Is that just to keep you in practice for pitching, or is something you learned how to do?
Well, that's my shoulder is pretty much shot. And when I first started out, I used to play shortstop, and I had a pretty good arm. And then as I injured the shoulder one year when I was about 45, diving into third base. Not too bright, but I did it, and I tore my rotator cuff. And then in volleyball, about 7, 8 years ago, I injured it. I had it operated on, and it just didn't come around like it should. So it doesn't hurt me if I don't play softball, but so I just can't use it. That I don't have the strength in it yet.
Well, you compensate for that very well. And Doogie, can you tell us what do you like best about playing for the Blue Jays?
The camaraderie, the group of guys I play with are just fantastic. It's same as in volleyball. It's the camaraderie, and then also the exercise. And I've been retired now for 10 years, and you need to get out and do stuff. And with volleyball in the winter and softball, I can stay pretty busy.
Well, that's great, Doogie. Congratulations on the season so far, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
In the grass, right at the edge of the grass. When there's nobody on first, I want you to bring it up so you can make the play to third. I got a book on some of these guys. We'll see what it is. Let's go get them, eh?
All right, go, baby. Set the clock.
26.
Left, pull hitter, Steve.
Didn't bring it.
Pulls it
Save
over.
it for the regular season. 12.
In an early season matchup, the Blue Jays played their crosstown rivals, the Rochester Purple Gang. It was a strong defensive effort with both teams playing very well in the field. The game was well pitched by Doug Doogie Helmick and was finished up by Mark Maxwell. A key play in the game occurred in the 7th when the score was tied and the Purple Gang was threatening with a runner at third and only one out when a fly went to left center and Donnie LePeck made a good catch and throw to nip the runner at home plate for an inning-ending double play. It definitely was the play of the game. We spoke with Donnie after a 6-5 Blue Jays victory. Well, we just finished a great ball game, close one, winning 6-5, and here with Don LePeck, made a great play there, throwing a runner from the outfield. And last year, Don, you had a fantastic play against Clarkston, which in the last inning, you made the catch and threw out a runner in a one-run game, and obviously a great arm. Tell me about playing as a kid. Did you always have that great arm?
Well, I've been playing for a long time. I played hardball a lot when I was youngster, out on the playgrounds around in the old neighborhood. Played in high school ball. Ended up playing at Tiger Stadium when I was a junior. Played center field at Tiger Stadium, which was a big treat for our St. Rita high school. And I've been playing pretty regular. I was out of softball for a few years, and got back in with you guys. And we got a good team here, and I think everybody's pretty good people.
How'd you get back into softball? What was the catalyst for that?
Well, I needed some exercise. That was one, and I retired a few years ago. That was two. So I had some time to actually, to play. Other than that, I was always working, and it'd be difficult to make the teams in the evening.
You play on teams as a kid. You're playing on a team with older kids now. Is there really any difference in how the team operates? You know, guys are still guys and still treat each other pretty much the same way, don't we?
You know, if you're a jock, you're a jock. You know, some of these people have been playing for years just like us. And year after year they play and they act the same as they acted when they were in high school and when they were in college. And most of these guys probably been playing for 25, 30 years, you know, just like us. So, if you like the sport, you like some exercise, you like the camaraderie with the people, it works out good.
There's nothing like the locker room. You know, we gave each other crap as kids. We give each other crap now. No question about that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a ball. And all you guys, it's my second year on the team. You know, you guys accepted me last year when I first came on, and good bunch of guys, and I wouldn't trade it.
Well, I'll tell you, my nickname for him is Donnie Gun. I hope the nickname sticks because he's got a gun, no question about that. Donnie, thanks a lot. Great game today.
Okay, appreciate it. We got a great team. Thank you.
In an exciting midseason game, the Blue Jays took on rival Oak Park. Oak Park came out of the gate like gangbusters and scored 5 runs in the first inning. The Blue Jay bats also came alive as they ended up scoring 20 runs in a 20-9 victory.
Nothing, right there, Yeah, Jimmy. Let us help you, Johnny, let us help you now. Atta boy, it's in there, come on. Oh, right in, got me out there. You guys got a pad on there? Yeah. Let's shoot, guys. Come on, guys. You got the pistol. Nice job. Not too loud. Yeah, baby. Nice rip. Come on, Dick. Very nice job, Dick. Atta boy, nice job, babe.
A key play in the game came on defense as the Blue Jays turned a 5-3-2 double play to snuff out an Oak Park rally. It went from Karen to Feldkamp to Trombley, and it was the defensive highlight of the game. Well, we're here with Jim Karen, one of the rookies on the Blue Jays this year. And Jim, obviously you're a great ball player. You have all the tools, all the skills. Where'd you play ball as a kid?
Well, I grew up in Detroit with many baby boomers, and all we did all day long was play baseball. And we had a lot of fun. You know, we used to finish our chores at home and then go down the ballpark and play ball with the kids in the neighborhood. And from there I went to St. Gregory High School and played for a very good coach, Bernie Holowicki. Taught me a lot about baseball and basketball, and I was very fortunate to have good coaching when I grew up. Love the game, love to play sports. One of the best parts of sports are the people you meet. And I've always said that, and this is no different. When I come and play my first year here with a group of seniors, mostly the guys from Troy, we're playing out of Rochester, and it's just so much fun. The camaraderie is really what everybody comes for. You know, it's great to come out and play baseball. Everybody loves that. But the camaraderie is really what we come for. And we get together afterwards and tell stories, and it's just a lot of fun. And I enjoyed this very, very much.
Well, that's great. Well, I think everybody on the team should have a nickname, Jim. And I think for you, JC or Rara, I got to tell you, you're the most enthusiastic guy on the team. You're always encouraging everybody. You're a fantastic teammate.
Well,
and now, what led you to come back with the Blue Jays?
well, this is my first year with the Blue Jays. I retired about a year and a half ago, and I worked part-time at the Troy Community Center. And I ran into a couple of guys on the team, and we chatted and talked about a little bit of softball. I played with my son and some other old-timers that I play every year with. And he just asked me if I wanted to come out, and it was a great opportunity. I love playing during the day. Helps fill up my day. And it's just great to be with a bunch of guys. It's funny you talk about rah-rah. That's kind of my MO, even when I was a kid. We were talking about, a friend of mine was telling his buddy that we were playing basketball. And he says, you know, he never shuts up. And that's kind of just the way I played. And there's no sense changing now. At my age, there's no sense changing. So it's just my enthusiasm for the game, and I just like being out with everybody.
Oh, that's great. Well, your enthusiasm is contagious, and you're a great teammate, and good continued success the rest of the season.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Well, we're here with Steve Yalik, really probably the best all-around player on the Blue Jays. Can play any position, great pitcher and shortstop. And Steve, you've been playing baseball continuously.
Pretty much. A short time after hardball, played a little softball, and then took a little bit of time off. But basically, all my life playing hardball or softball.
Do you have a favorite position in baseball and softball, or do you like to play all around?
Well, in softball, I'd have to say pitching. I've been doing that in my other league for 25 years now, probably, and gotten kind of used to it. And it's a position where you're reacting. You don't overthink it. You either get the ball coming back at you or you don't.
Now, you play on an 18-over team. You played on that team for quite a long time. What are the similarities between that team and playing with the Blue Jays?
Well, it's very similar. There's some nice rule changes with the over 55. In particular, as a pitcher, this ability to move back behind the rubber and get a little more time to react. With the young guys, you got to be on the rubber, and some of those young guys hit the ball pretty hard, so you got to react pretty quickly, both to get them out and to protect yourself.
Now, what do you like best about playing for the Blue Jays?
It's good camaraderie. It's good competition, but not too serious. It's a lot of fun. Everybody wants to win, but everybody knows we're out here with the main reason to have fun. Nobody wants to get hurt, have a good time, try to win. And then the social aspect of team sports is just great.
Now, yeah, it was a great game today for the Blue Jays, a 20-7 victory. And now, do you have any specific strategies for pitching to keep hitters off balance?
Well, I try to go with, depending on where they're at in the box, try to go with the high arc deep. If they're up front in the box, try to get it deep on their shoulders. If they're way back in the box, try to keep it up front a little bit. If they're trying to pull the ball, I try to keep it outside. If they're trying to go the opposite way, try to pitch them inside. So I try to go with what they're trying to do and sort of try to counteract it. It's not that easy, obviously, with the strike zone, but that's the other nice thing about the over 55 is the mat gives you a bigger strike zone, and it's unquestioned. You hit the mat, as long as they're not calling the arc off, it's a strike. You don't hit the mat, it's a ball.
Well, Steve, a great game today. Let's keep those wins coming.
Thanks.
Well, we're here with Johnny Epple, known as the Big E. He's a big stick on the Blue Jays. And Johnny, how long have you been playing with the Blue Jays?
I've been with the Blue Jays since I turned 55, which would be about 7 years ago.
Now, what got you back into baseball again?
Well, it's the competitiveness, plus it's kind of nice to play with guys that you're the same ability level, and it's a, you know, and the teams here are pretty competitive, even though we are over 55.
What do you like best about playing for the Blue Jays?
Well, I like the camaraderie of the team. Everybody pulls for each other, no matter who's up, and that really helps team unity. Now
you got a really big stick. You still got a lot of power. How do you keep the power going?
Well, I just play a lot of ball. I play 3-4 games a week. So it's mostly timing, and I like to just hit the line drives. Every once in a while in this league I'll hit a long one.
Well, that's great, Johnny. Thanks for being with us today, and hope that big stick continues all season. Good luck to you.
All right, very good. Thank you.
Our games are followed by good sportsmanship by both teams and conclude with a trip to the pub for a rehash of the game. No matter what your age, you can't beat the camaraderie of being on a team. We simply enjoy and feel more alive when we're part of something that's bigger than ourselves. It's all about the team, the team, the team. I'm Mark Maxwell, and for all of the Rochester OPC Blue Jays, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Live Long, Live Well.